let's do a group breath in so that we're all on the same page. So we just go like this. Sue, when you're ready.
Okay. I dreamed of escaping to a limestone cottage where the balcony leaned over an endless, powerful sea.
Annie.
I used to dream of a place where everyone mattered. Smiles and cheerfulness prevailed in shops and on buses. Community mattered.
Thomas.
I used to dream of a place where people were happy. Food stalls selling Thai green curry, burgers and other assorted delicious foods.
Sylvia.
It was 1974 and I was resting in my rented bedroom in Sunnyside Road, Weston, before going out. It was a lovely sunny evening, but then the room suddenly became very misty. Out of the mist, I could see the front of a ship and heard the haunting sound of its foghorn.
Vicky.
24th of November. Heartbreak, a life ending or maybe two. Learning to survive, a descending dark choking cloud. A deafening silence, leaving a bitter lifelong aftertaste.
Ron.
An odd thing, really. Heavenly touch.
Joan.
14th of February, 1976. My plane landed at London Heathrow. In my whole life, I'd never known a day without sunshine.
Aid.
I used to dream of a place where people rode on clouds.
Peter.
I could see that a friend of mine was in the kitchen, which had a huge Victorian sash window, and after getting through the door, I could see that something had happened by the look on his face. When he told me, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Toby.
In 2018, life twisted and turned. What I knew was no more. Where I felt safe was no more. What I loved was no more. Home was no more.
Matthew.
The 6th of July, 2005. My mum was in hospital, in Salisbury Hospital. I was off school for 2 days. I was miserable. I hated school. So much hate, I was angry.
Tell.
I used to dream when I was younger at school that there was a place where I can go where I wouldn't be bullied and people were nice to me and I had real friends that treated me with respect and helped me realise my actual potential in life. So I didn't spend a lot of my time crying and hurting in my heart and soul.
I used to dream of a place where my colour didn't matter, my gender didn't matter, my weight didn't matter, class or race didn't matter. Who I am mattered.
We've been in this nameless forest for days. Knees scabbed, shoulders scalding from the backpacks holding what's left of our lives. And just now, I saw 2 grown men go to war over a mould-bloomed sandwich. Not even a BLT or a cheese and pickle, no, egg and cress. Stinking of sulphur, but still, they'd have killed for it. Pride is the first thing that you abandon from your sack of heavy trinkets, and dignity is a close second. And we marvel at the things that used to matter. A shade of lipstick, a wonky table leg, the colour of tinsel on a fake tree. Laughter is the lightest thing that we carry, portioned off on these misty nights where we forget where north is, what our names are, whether we're running to or running from. And the children moan because they're tired and bored and sore, their poor sluggish legs all peppered with stings. So we sing to distract them. And I tell them that paradise is waiting and paradise is worth it. But this is a lie. I do not know what paradise is like. All I know is that any life is better than the one we've left. Behind us is a place that mocked our mother tongues, robbed us of joy, time, peace, even the brief kiss of the morning sun. But they couldn't function without our bent backs and quick fingers. We picked the food that they grew fat on, sewed the clothes bulging from their cupboards. But none of this fixed our incurable diagnosis. Foreign, unwanted. Every day felt conditional. The horizon, this guillotine, quivering. There was something in the water over there. The place was cursed. Filthy air, low-paid work. And the winters, blister your skin. And the kids would go out to play in the parks and come back as ghosts. Your only job was to keep intact your son's uncanny knack for pranks, to guard his hungry chuckle with your life, even as your own piss pings back at you from a cling film seat at 1 a.m. You want that laugh to deepen, for him to pass it on down the line for a grandchild whose stomach will never know a week-long grumble. You promised him there was more to life than struggle, but there were no hills from which to show him how far the world can stretch in any direction. And you didn't dare feed him dreams when you could barely feed him 3 meals a day. You were tired of the sight of his ribs, the slow drip of time down the moulding wall. And you saw a burning trolley at the back of a cash and carry. And there was that voice coming through the flames that told you to gather your son and everyone you know and go. And yes, hearing voices is a sure sign of burgeoning madness, but didn't the work and the hatred and the itch of hunger drive you mad anyway? So you gathered everyone you knew and you told them, let's go. Now. And now the mums are hollow-eyed, caffeine-starved, half delirious, and the men's fists are shoved inside their pockets, ready to meet the air or your face. And the kids, oh God. The kids just want parents who mean it when they say everything's gonna be okay. And you're stood by this concrete milkshake of sea, your dad's old walking stick in your hand, waiting. And you're thinking, how long have I been searching for this mythical place called home? And is it really on the other side of this bottomless mud? Your life's always been framed by the whims of open water. Your mother, whose face now escapes you, sent you over the ocean as a baby, knowing even those vicious waves were safer than the land she stood on. So you're here by the water so your son will die old of a stubborn smoking habit or a heart attack from eating too much blue cheese. He will love and be loved. He will be lazy and lucky and unsaddled of gratitude. And when he walks in the forest, it will be in the daylight. The hand of someone he loves in his. He will carry nothing on his back but a light breeze. So you close your eyes, you summon the God who spoke to you from under those embers in a firm, gentle voice like a mother's, and you lift your hands up, barely daring to hope. And only when you hear your son gasp do you open your eyes to watch the waters part.
There's the sea, the endless sea that goes on till the horizon. And the only thing that's there on the horizon is Steepholm Island, a little shining rock amongst a sea of glass.
Each shoot creeping over the rocks, fixing itself with millipede roots. Beyond is a limitless view over familiar landmarks.
1982. Wide sandy beach stretches towards the pier. The girls deep in conversation, arms across each other's shoulders, ponytails swinging. A new home, a new life, a new place, uplifting our souls.
I've learned I love a lot and lived out many dreams, and now I'm back at the start, where my dreams began.
Whenever I'm in Weston, I always go and look at the little Banksy man, supposedly, that's on the front of the indoor market. He's only about a foot high. But anyway, if you look round the corner of it, there's a car that's crashed as well. And he must have crashed with a bit of force because he's right up in the air.
The Zeppelin busker, the pleading beggar, the us-loving dog and walker.
For a small period, no one can find me. I'm undetectable, untraceable, alone in my own little world.
One day she was wearing a tartan dress, white jacket, beige felt berry, bright red leggings, brown fur boots, a lovely smile.
The cornet licker, the chip eater, the rapper sweeper, the word preacher.
And something furry around her neck. It might have been a dog.
My breath is short. I take the last step and the world comes back into focus.
She's an artist, and she walks down the seafront with a confident swagger. She looks at the sea and thinks, yeah, I'll conquer that.
It was strange because the room suddenly filled with mist. And I looked at the mist, and out of it came the front of a ship. And then I heard the haunting sound of the foghorn. And I thought to myself, my ship's coming in.
At the end of the drive, you cross the threshold from our world into theirs.
The next thing, there was a phone call, and Glenys called up to me that it was for me. And I answered it, and to my surprise, it was one of my sisters, whom I'd never met because I was adopted. And I couldn't believe I was actually speaking to one of my blood family. It was really wonderful.
It was the first time I had a place of my own, and I felt proud to live in it. I needn't worry other people, and other people needn't worry me.
My ship truly had come in.
One of my first memories of being in Weston-super-Mare is going down to the beach with my whole family. And I looked at it up and down and I thought, what a wondrous place this is.
seeming fairy tale, catching pictures with my mum and my grandpa on a picnic table, all of us picture perfect around him. Waterfalls made of crystals and a beautiful turquoise sky. Moss covering the floor like a comfortable pillow.
Moving to Weston, freedom found and given. Not living in fear. Head clearer, calmer and quieter. More me.
Daffodils and daisies, as tall as the buildings, encompassing the bookstore, in the jewellers, and all of the wonderful shops I love to visit.
A place where history was made and modern technology doesn't touch. It acts as a border between town and countryside.
There is this street you may not have noticed, but I have. It's by the high street. It's Meadowship Street. Yet, unnoticed by the world.
People sat on benches with the sound of a relaxing fountain. Beautiful plants and trees and friendly faces.
I used to play with my toys out on Baker Street.
In the cracks that are cast from steel, there's a chattering, a conversation, and you lean back against the supports, and your eyes adjust to the darkness.
She's always dressed in her own individual style, very colourful, full of patterns, quirky.
The sea air in my lungs felt so good and fresh.
I could climb up high and shout to the waves and the wind, and then look over to another country, just like those birds.